Welcome back to Les Schwab Tire Center's Outdoor GPS, presented by Fisherman's Marine and Outdoor.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on Super Bowl Sunday. We've got Sandeep Nan, owner, Fisherman's Marine, his GM, all three stores, Junior. Now, what's your, Paul?
Paul Coppinger.
Okay. I like to call him Lowhole. Anyway, so we've run across each other a few times. First off, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
GM for all three stores at Fisherman's. That's awesome to hear. It's got to be something that you got to be proud of, I would think, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I know that you've been with the company for a long time, and I'm going to put you on the spot. Did you see that coming?
I did not. When I first started, I started working in the basement at Oregon City. Slowly worked my way up, and it's been a great run.
Yeah.
And hopefully we got many, many, many years to come.
Yeah, so far for you, and obviously he's not going to go too far outfield here, but has the transition been one positive? And I know that you were right in the middle of what everybody would, well, let's face it, a lot of you can complain, right? The different complaints that were out there, you know, pegs being light, this and that. At least I've noticed it, but have you noticed things changing a little bit?
Absolutely. Sandeep's been a big help. Greg's helped a bunch. We've got good team members involved, as we always have.
Yeah.
We're getting more merchandise in. With a pandemic and everything that we had, trying to get merchandise was tough from all the vendors.
Sure.
That is getting better and better every day.
Yeah.
So the easier that gets, the better we are at putting product on the pegs for all of us.
Right. And I'm not going to speak for either one of you, so correct me if I'm wrong, but that's at least the biggest complaint that I've ever gotten working with Fisherman's for over a decade now, is that it was always hard to find the stuff when people wanted it. But my response to all of them, and again, this is only me, that they're looking for it in the middle of spring Chinook season.
Right.
Okay?
Absolutely.
You can't look for the stuff that you have to have in the middle of a particular season. But I have gotten that same positive response. People have seen that. People also commented on your employees. The morale seems to be much better, and a lot of folks are able to get help where sometimes they would complain about not being able to get the help that they would need. Not at the Oregon City store, because those guys over there, y'all know me, it's giving me a hard time. But no, things have really come along greatly, and don't think I'm done with you, but I got to ask you, Sportsman Show, it's right now. I mean, this next week, you guys are going to go nuts.
We're starting tomorrow, setting up. So
tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're going to do some fixture setup.
Okay.
Tuesday we'll bring in all our product and get all the product set up.
Yeah.
Wednesday morning we'll be ready to rock and roll.
So, I mean, this is just a massive, I mean, a lot of you, I'm sure, have been to the Sportsman Show of any kind, no matter where you are. If you're in Idaho right now, Northern Washington, I don't care where you are. You've been to some of these trade shows. It's such a huge ordeal to get these things set up. You guys have done it for so long. I know that there is a regiment to it. There's a process to do it. Every year is a little bit different. But this year, how are you going to be stocked up? I mean, are you going to have everything that we need for our upcoming spring next season? Maybe finishing off winter steelhead season, all that stuff going to be there?
Absolutely. We're going to have some beads down there, as always.
Yeah.
We've got our 360s. We've got the triangle flashers. We got a bunch of super baits coming as well.
Yeah.
Plenty of 360s. There's lots of plugs for steelhead fishing. We got the bobber stuff.
Yeah.
We've got all the rods and reels as well.
Yeah.
And we've got some great deals on some footwear, some clothing.
Oh, nice.
Yes, so come on down and see us. It's going to be a great year, great show.
Yeah, it's certainly something that I think, being the first year of Sandeep's ownership of Fisherman's Marine, this has got to be a little bit different for you, right? Now, we've talked a little bit about some of the things that have changed, but this aspect, right, the Sportsman Show, what's your thoughts on that to this point? You haven't had a chance to really get into it yet.
I mean, number one, I'm really excited.
Awesome.
Because it's going to be a big show, and I'm hopeful it will be very successful and also help with, as I was saying, January being slow, that cash injection. But two, I'm just excited to be part of it. It seemed like, from whatever I've heard, I never attending it once, so it'll be my first time attending it. But it's a huge undertaking in setting up a shop in itself, basically, right? So moving, including, moving our servers even there to POS, to, all this inventory and setting up everything, and just, amount of people, and so I'm just very excited and looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be, I've had a chance to work a few of those things in my lifetime. Never as an owner, okay? So obviously not nearly the stress, but man, it's an undertaking. So just remember, I'm going to throw it out there for all your employees. It's a tough go. It's definitely a grind. By Sunday, they are going to be burnt. I mean, it's just the way it is. You just are burnt.
I mean, even now, right, like people are working really hard. We have new products coming in that we want to take to the show. We have to receiving to be done. We have stuff to be moved there. You know, like it's just everyone is working super hard to make it successful and make it look good.
Yeah, well, congrats for all you that are doing that to make that work successfully. Challenges, things that you would like to see change yourself maybe with your company.
I mean, I already mentioned some of the challenges in terms of what we are doing better already or what we could be doing. You're talking to Junior here, and I believe since he has moved to Delta Park, I know you go more to the Oregon City, but you go to visit Delta Park too.
Sure.
It's looking a lot nicer. Yeah. It's, it's much more organized and looking, so we are making an effort that all the stores, along with having the inventory, like it looks nicer and people can find their stuff where needed. Yeah. And overall, more focus on, not that all employees have been very customer service focused, but more focus on that and whether at Delta Park and all the other stores. So having Junior there has been very helpful because that's his now main base is the Delta Park store. So
it's always a big team effort.
Yeah.
And having the right people in the right place at the right time.
You mentioned that. You got to have the right team, right? Absolutely. You got to have the right reasons for folks to come in and see. There's a number of reasons for that because some of the employees that are there, I know that I go to go talk to them about specific things. I might do this for a living, Sandeep, but I'm no 10%er. I'm no guide. I'll go there and I'll ask questions. What is the best, what's the best setup? What should I be using here? What is there something that's being more trendy? Because a lot of times if you go to Fisherman's, you can look at those pegs and you're going to see an empty one, and everything else around it is packed. That's the one you just missed on. You want to ask that question ahead of time. What's the one thing that everybody's starting to gravitate to this year, right? That's an important one. But you guys also have a contest going on. You already mentioned it prior to the show that it's not new, but that first Springer, what's going on there?
The first Springer, we got a Springer Derby. You catch the first Springer, bring it in. We'll get you a $200 gift card.
Jeez. All you gotta do is just be the first one to catch a Springer. I know where it's gonna come from. It's gonna be a plunker. Somebody's bell's gonna go up and they're gonna walk across the street and they're gonna go to the Oregon City store and they're gonna turn it in, aren't they?
Absolutely.
That's the way it always works out.
Looking forward to it.
Oh man, Springers. Don't ask questions yet. We're still in steelhead season. All right, don't go anywhere, guys. We got one more segment with the voice from Fisherman's. We got your deal of the week from Fisherman's Marine. Don't go anywhere.
Outdoor GPS is brought to you by Chevy Silverado and the impressive new Turbo Max engine. Flex your muscle with the strongest, most advanced Silverado ever. Official truck of Outdoor GPS.